Hello, TableTone friends, or Servus, as we say in Austria. Today we are again Neo, Jacques, Gianluca, and
Richard.
Yeah, and we have to tell you some very interesting things because he is the master of disaster, a man wearing many hats. And without further ado, just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Richard. I'm founder of the Green Lobster Studios, and we started doing TableTone project actually in 2022 somewhere, and now a lot of time has passed, and that's where we are now. We're coming from music production actually, and started thinking about the concepts of adaptive audio, like being able to control the what's happening in music especially, and also in ambiences, and give this control to the users with seamless transitions and stuff like that. And all that is actually now in the TableTone app, and we produce our music in a specific way, so it's working in the TableTone app. That's what we do. And yeah, a lot of things have happened since then, and
just made the tool better and better.
Yeah, it's just getting better and better, more and more content, and expanding in different directions, let's say.
We have been knowing each other for quite some time now, way longer also than the project was even called TableTone.
Mm-hmm.
So I know firsthand, I was there, Gandalf, when things came to be, when everything was quite primordial, and I saw that long journey and all the improvements. But now, TableTone is quite a complex and capable piece of software. So what's the current state of it? What would you say are features that came out recently, or stuff that has been polished, where you say, okay, this is where we're at in the year of the Lord 2026, July, almost August, where it's at now?
Yeah, we improve. We're keeping improving the app step by step, and put a couple of features in there. This is just individualization features. You can search your music now. You can store the music with scenes, so it's easier to really configure it.
Heavily requested feature, by the way.
Heavily requested feature, yes. The same thing with sounds. You can search for the sounds and don't have to always have them in the preset. Stuff like that. And since we are actually considering the whole thing, and this started as the idea of an ecosystem, we are going more and more into really configuration and individualization features, which is even going into the direction of putting things online to create your own playlist, for example, for different games, and your own names, maybe your own aliases for locations, stuff like that. Even put in your own sounds that still are compliant with the adaptive audio concept, which is the hard part of it, because just adding sounds would be easy. Same thing for music. So we are doing tools for this. This is taking a while, but what would be possible, I guess, in a couple of weeks, months, I'm not sure. We are preparing VTT features, not just streaming, but in this context, the first thing we do would be a Foundry module. So
I like that. I'm a Foundry enjoyer.
Cool. Absolutely. This is a highly requested thing, of course. And we want to integrate it properly, so it would be something that can be used from other modules inside Foundry ecosystem as well. Yes, like I said, the proof of concept kind of is already there, but until we can release this, because it has to be on the servers, it needs to be reliant. This will take some time. We don't want to publish this in an unfinished version, but that's the direction we are going right now.
I'm basically having all of the power and tools, basically from the TableTone app, and bringing this into like a web-based system.
Right.
It's kind of like the thing that we're...
Yeah. Also local install of stuff that you did, so you can download it and install it on the local device. It will be a thing, I guess. Apart from that, we are going into collaborations with different IPs. At the moment, we are working with Terra Mortis. That's a RPG, solo deck building RPG from Spain, which really looks nice in a dystopian, post-apocalyptic setting. A little bit cyberpunky, but not
right now outside of our normal kind of genre, because usually we do lots of fantasy, of course, because people love the classic fantasy stuff, but like it's kind of cool to tackle a different kind of side of sci-fi right now, which is more the post-apocalyptic.
To all our TableTone friends out there, I know the vast majority of you is playing fantasy settings. It's the bread and butter of so much genre. Yeah. But please check out the horror universe and the sci-fi universe. There's some.
Sci-fi has the best sounds.
And also our sound effects. Yes, absolutely.
Our editor can put in like the coolest sound effects right now, which is like the laser rifle, and all the other cool weapon sounds are insane.
Yeah, quick sidebar, but important sidebar.
Yeah, and also music will go more in that direction at the moment. So we are expanding this time kind of cyberpunk, sci-fi, also sci-fi horror genre. Yeah. So you will see the spin-off of collaborations like this with Terra Mortis in our generic content as well. So this is the idea. Also, we worked with Magpie Games for the All in London RPG. They made a Kickstarter last year. It went up to 1 million. This was really a big one. And the Kickstarter backers will get a TableTone pack, which includes some sounds and stuff. So this is looking forward to this release.
Actually, it was a lot of fun playtesting, that one.
I was about to say, yeah.
It was like 2 sessions. Somewhere down there in the studio, there's the Fallen London map that I printed out, like from some online resources that I could find. A very, very, very moody and a very strange, but strange in the best way.
Yeah.
Setting.
Yeah, absolutely recommended.
Hey, once,
check this out, yeah.
Now we're in the midst of summer, even though it has been cooling down a little bit. I think once the fog of fall and maybe early winter rolls around, maybe we go for another playtesting session.
Yeah, I would like to, yeah. Yeah, same thing for Terra Mortis. This would be great design, nice people. This is a fantastic project. Sorry, this is
it. It looks really exciting.
Yeah.
Are there any plans to playtest maybe that, or is it just a little bit too complex with all the deck building assets?
I think we could. I mean, if we have the content, they are, they just made their Kickstarter. I'm not sure where they stand now. I think somewhere around.
I mean, since it's a solo RPG, we can always playtest.
This is a solo RPG, yeah. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, cool. I would love to.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, dear Richard, you are a master of your craft, I would say, and sound production, music production is something you're quite familiar with, I would say.
The kind of where I'm coming from.
Yeah. To kind of underselling it. TableTone is all about music and sounds. So what's your modus operandi? How do you go about things? What's most important to you?
Lately, I've been doing less mixes than before, but we have a team of, at the moment, 3. Then we have some outside composers who work for us, a sound designer who is in Argentina, by the way. Working with the tracks is actually something that you do in a different way than you would mix an album, for example, if you speak about music, because it has to be something that can be adapted. So we are working in multi-track audio from the beginning, and the result is still multi-track audio that has an integrated mixing metadata set in the assets. So this is something that's in the mix. It needs to work in different mixes. So you have to work it out so that the same kind of music works when it's really turned down to lowest intensity and dark, for example, and gets quiet, by the way, usually, but not always. Sometimes it depends on the context, actually. But usually it gets quiet, it gets darker, it gets maybe a little bit more eerie, and if you push it to bright and high intensity, it will be, I don't know, just more intense and a very different sounding. And it needs to be good at any position. So this kind of production is different from mixing to stereo. We have implemented a couple of tricks and algorithms and stuff and formula and whatever that make it easier for the producers to have this balance. So we have this integrated balancer, which is kind of making sure that you always have an expected loudness. If you have the intensity at maximum, it will be, like louder than at minimum, but not a lot. And in between, all the steps are kind of predictable, even though you can change the mix radically. So for production, it's getting used to it for a while, and then at some point it really feels easy in a way. I mean, this has this freedom of, it's not just one mix, it's just like, okay, the person playing it back and can choose what kind of style it will be. So this is actually the basic idea behind this whole adaptive music thing.
One question I would, for example, have for you is we all take inspiration for what we do from all kinds of different sources. As you remember, you, me, and another friend of ours, we went to see Backrooms, which we thoroughly enjoyed. Wonderful, wonderful movie.
amazing sound design and music.
Amazing sound design. You said, hey, that gave you some good ideas. What are some sort of North Star mixes, soundtracks, whatever you want to call it, that you sometimes or even often listen to or keep at the back of your head when you go to work?
Okay, I mean, when I'm mixing, I have actually a couple of tracks that I kind of start with to clean my ears. So one of them is the Alex theme from the computer game video game Prey by Mick Gordon. This is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So this even on YouTube sounds absolutely amazing. This is something that cleans your ear in a way that you can
check it out. Check it out.
Stop the video right now. Go to listen to it and come back.
Yeah, Alex theme from the video game Prey.
And all hail Mick Gordon.
Anything from Mick Gordon, actually, anything. Then when it comes to ambiences, this is also a very important topic. I mean, if you are searching through sample libraries and working with ambience recordings, we don't do AI for this. We usually really completely go from sampled recordings. I mean, like a forest is a forest, and we use samples from a real forest, just to say that. Then they all sound very different, and not just different in, okay, there's a different forest, but the kind of microphones they use, the kind of acoustics there is, and kind of setup they have, everything, the positioning of the microphones. So you have to choose wisely, and you have to always change this so they fit together, because if we do an adaptive forest, for example, it will be very different from low intensity to high intensity, very different from dark to bright, because we want the sound of forest at night when you turn to dark, and we want the sound of the forest on the day or in bright sunlight if it's going too bright. So there will be different insects, different birds, or most birds are gone at night and stuff like that. So we'll have different kind of brushes, leaves, rattle sounds and stuff. If you go to high intensity, everything goes up, but you don't want to have the noise go up, and that's a hard thing to do. So in any ambiences, when you are stacking up the layers of different ambiences to get something that's bigger and more and so on, in contrast to when it would be in nature, it will be noisier because we are stacking up layers actually. So this is actually a hard job to really master this in a way that it sounds natural and still is kind of the way you would expect it to be.
When you're just playing it, you're like, oh, that sounds perfect. But like the things that of consideration that go into it to make it this flawlessly sounding is just like, there's so much stuff that actually.
I find it more complex and more complicated to build location ambiences than music.
Yep.
And also sound designers we work with actually take a while to get into it, and it's tough job.
Personally, as much as I like the music, and some of those tracks have been like seared into my brain because I have been hearing them for a long time. But
the Tavern song.
The Tavern song, but the ambiences are just so strong.
Yeah.
And they're also like they're getting so much more refined and better. And yeah,
I think especially with ambiences, it's like if the ambience is right, you don't even question it, but once something is like missing or not kind of particularly there, you notice it immediately.
Yeah.
But like if you go to, for example, to a desert or like the forest, you're like, okay, there's no question asked, you're in the forest right now.
Yes.
You shouldn't actually hear it, you just feel it. This is actually the idea, if it's well done.
So is there a sort of dream project soundscape that you would like to tackle right now, but for one reason or another, it's not in your grasp yet?
We are actually kind of preparing, or we started even talking with them. I mean, like doing something for Das Schwarze Auge, Black Eye.
Quick explanation for TRPG fans who might not know it. If D&D is from the Anglosphere and therefore for the rest of the world when it comes to fantasy, Das Schwarze Auge, the Black Eye in a direct translation, is the German equivalent to it. It's
massively popular for
massively popular, still alive and kicking, very old, a lot of history. So just that you know, Das Schwarze Auge.
Yeah, also highly recommended.
Yeah.
I think more complicated than the D&D.
So Das Schwarze Auge, we are keeping it German here, Amtssprache ist Deutsch, is a vast world. Very complex.
Yes.
How are you gonna tackle it?
Getting familiar, let's say in corners of this world or areas or something, and trying out just scenes, I think. So we should play this, like do play testing, not really, but play it and prepare in the same way. So just like building a character, you would characterize one part of the world and say, okay, in this part, we have these couple of scenes which really produce the feeling of this. So I think it's all about feeling, really. It's like an emotional thing to feel at home in something. It's not like we are describing something in detail because the details are coming in the lore and in the story and it's the narrative. We are not doing narrative, we are doing emotions and immersion.
Going on a journey, like
Going on a journey.
almost playing a TRPG.
And having the smells and the sounds and stuff like this is a different thing than writing down what you see. It's a very different.
I feel like also I'm a big believer that like if you want to produce something for a product or like you get involved with a product, like especially a game like this, like it's the best way to do this is like playing it, feeling it, and experiencing like how. And then actually as you're playing it, you kind of start grasping like, okay, what could this sound like, and then you're like in there.
Yeah, you won't really find out until you play it. Yes. That's absolutely clear.
As the in-house GM, DM, I of course enjoy very much DMing for all you fine people. Also for this person, Eob, who sits behind the camera. Now it's a lot of fun, but even though that I'm not a person who like does the sound mixing or the digital development, there is a big jump from having something that's quite complex, very well made for its intended purpose, and then actually firing the thing up, sitting on the table, joking around, really trying to build atmosphere and whatnot. And there's a lot of stuff that just pleasantly surprises you and not so pleasantly surprises you. And yeah, this is basically how you stress test everything.
Yeah.
But we have been doing this for quite a while now, and I think it's also to very much toot our own horn is why the software got so much better and keeps on being improved.
Building worlds, hopefully.
Living worlds. Exploring worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all wonderful. So I would say thank you again for listening, our dear TableTone friends, and as to say in Austria, Servus.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.